This is my buddy Nick, and he's a musician. And he's going to be ranking my favorite video game soundtracks on this episode of Bonus Level. All right, everybody, welcome to the first episode of Bonus Level. I'm here with Nick, who you may actually know as one of the composers behind the ButtonPress podcast theme songs, the infamous Nick DeBerry.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah. So I brought you on here wanting to show you my favorite video game soundtracks. Mm-hmm. But before we jump into that, I want you to kind of give me a rundown of your experience with gaming. I know you're not like a super hardcore gamer. Yeah. You called yourself a casual gamer before to me. Yeah. But how long have you been gaming? What kind of games do you play? How often do you do it?
Yes. So, I mean, when I was younger, I certainly played a lot more video games. It was everything ranging from Pokemon through Super Smash Brothers. I remember my grandparents' house fondly. They had a Nintendo 64, so I was playing whatever Zelda game they had on there. More recently, it's, I guess I'll say casually playing with some friends on Xbox and things like that. More multiplayer nonsense, Sea of Thieves, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think you will recognize some of the music that I'm going to play for you.
Okay.
And just to give you guys watching the rundown of how this is going to work, I have 8 of my favorite video game songs. I'm going to play them for Nick. He's going to be able to listen through them all the way through, give his thoughts. I'm going to ask him a few questions on the vibe that he's getting from them, maybe what game or what kind of level they might be from. And then he's going to end up ranking them on a scale from 0 to, we're going to go with 100. Okay. Just gives you a lot of room
0 to 100.
Yeah, on the Nick DeBerry scale. However,
it's a lot of pressure, the Nick DeBerry scale. My goodness.
However that works, and there are some like all-time classics on here, so don't feel pressured to rank them high. And
or if I rank them low, I'm sorry if I offend any of our viewership here.
Yeah, I will give you the warning of like which one is like my all-time favorite, because my favorite video game song is on this list.
Oh wow, pressure's really on now. Jeez.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Cool. A popular one at number 1. I think you might possibly recognize it from what I've just heard you say about your gaming history.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
I think I have a guess.
You can uncuff in here if you want. If you feel like you've heard enough.
I think I've got a general sense for the vibe and what that might be. Yeah. I mean, context clues. I think it might be from a Zelda game.
That is from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64.
So the reason I guessed it was there was a real sort of like not like traveling sort of vibe or adventuring kind of vibe to it. The flute kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
That was sort of my...
That's the ocarina.
There we go.
I think.
Yeah.
That's probably the instrument that they're using there.
Yeah, some derivative thereof. But yeah, no, that was... Definitely gives the sense of moving from place to place or something like that.
All right, so like travel, journey, like some sort of adventure.
Yeah. And I could be way off base, and you'll light me up in the comments if I am.
No, I don't think you are, because it does come from a very interesting point in the game.
Okay, cool.
But before I show you that, I do have the videos of the games on my computer here to show Nick, so he can kind of pair the music with the visuals, and kind of see where they come from. But generally, Nick DeBerry scale, we're going to just throw it on a scale from 0 to 100. This has no pressure of being any sort of official rating. Mm-hmm. It could just be however you're feeling about the song.
The number 74 jumps out because I feel like that's, I don't know, feels like it's a pretty good song. It's not like didn't knock my socks off, but I could sit back and listen to that for a little bit.
Awesome. So this is actually the Ocarina of Time main menu music.
So we're not traveling anywhere at this point.
Well, you would be surprised. You'd be surprised because the main menu of Ocarina of Time does feature Link riding on his horse. So the main menu of Ocarina of Time is very much, I feel like, travel, journey, and I think it sets the mood, like you were saying, of going from place to place. But it's also the beginning of your journey. This is the first thing you see when you turn on the game.
Yeah.
You see Link. You see him riding his horse on some hills. where's he going? Who knows? But I think you were spot on with the journey to travel.
This is fun.
On to the next. All right, so this next one I think is going to be way more intense compared to the past one. And I feel like you probably heard the song, but not from the game that it's in. You also probably heard me play this song on the piano a few times. Anytime I sit in front of a piano, this is what I play.
Okay.
But it sounds a little bit more intense from the actual game itself. Here you go. Definitely gets like it gets crazy as it goes on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I'm getting for the first like 15 seconds, I was getting like like you picture like a cheesy like 90s like action movie sequence where they're like, or even I guess late 80s. Mm-hmm. That's what I was picturing. And then it got like, as you said, like way more intense very quickly.
Absolutely.
I have literally no idea where to place this as far as what game it might be. I have no idea. I don't want to go as far as to say it's in a fight scene because like I feel like that'd be too obvious. Maybe it is a fight scene. I don't know.
It is actually from a boss fight.
Okay.
I will say that. And you saying it's cheesy. The character that you are fighting has a lot of like tongue-in-cheek, quippy one-liners. He's I mean, depending on what you do in the game, he's either dunking on you with disses or dunking on other people with disses. This is from the game Undertale, if you've ever heard of it.
I have not.
It's an indie game.
Okay.
I'll show you what it looks like in a second. But compared to the last one, on the official Nick DeBerry scale, what are we putting? This song is called Megalovania.
Okay.
That's a lot, mouthful. From Undertale.
I'm going to give that like something in the high 80s. I'm going to say like an 88 because I was fighting every urge to just be like, as I was listening to it.
I would say that is like, that song took the world by storm for like probably years in the video game world, and probably outside the video game world a little bit. This is the boss fight. So the way this game works is you converse with your enemy first. Mm-hmm. And there's different runs that you can do. You can do like a friendly run where you talk to people, you solve problems through talking, or what people call the genocide run, where you go you go through and you attack, you're hostile to everybody. And the way a lot of the combat works is you control this little heart, and every time I move it, I'm just gonna let it go. You control this little heart and you dodge things that are flying at you in the box, and then like he'll stop the converse.
So wait, that was playing right there?
Yes, this is also playing. That is swinging to attack.
Oh, I would lose so fast. Oh my gosh.
But as this music ramps up, this is what is from the genocide run. Like that, this is, you've killed everybody, so he's upset. He's gonna go at you like hardcore. I'm gonna skip ahead. The sound might come through again, but it gets absolutely nuts. So you're talking in between combat, and then so you're playing as the little heart. It jumps to different like scenes and scenarios where you're dodging their attacks. This is pretty much how the entire game is. I'm
in awe of anybody who could actually do this for more than like 30 seconds.
I have not fully played through the game myself. The soundtrack is just phenomenal. There's a lot of other good songs on there that I could show you another time, but I feel like the intensity of the song goes with the music.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And also that beginning part when you're like, oh, this sounds like an 80s movie. That's very much like when he's shit talking you in the beginning, working you up to the fight, and like it's the build up to that final confrontation with him.
Yeah, and it jumps into the intense parts so abruptly in a good way, where it's, you go from I'm not going to say 0, but you go from something like 0 to 100
Right.
very quickly.
All right. Number 3.
Very different.
This is very, very different.
That's cool.
Seems like he's enjoying this one, so I'm not going to stop it.
Did you say something?
I said, seems like he's enjoying this one, so I'm not going to stop it.
It seemed like there was a vibe change. I wanted to make sure I caught it.
Yes, there is a little bit of a vibe change.
Yes.
Right off the bat, what are you feeling from it?
So I'm going to ask you a question instead.
Go ahead.
Is there anything militaristic about the game?
In what sense?
Is this like, well, is it like, I mean, literally, is there anything like, is this some sort of like army involved game or like combat involved?
Combat definitely.
Okay, combat involved.
You are definitely not in the military. You're not playing as any sort of soldier. But there's a lot of guns, a lot of action.
Okay, guns. That's, yeah.
A lot of, yes.
Because I was for sure this is not in any kind of fantasy world or anything like that.
It is not.
Does it happen to take place in a jungle?
Some of the games in the series, yeah, it happens in the jungle. I think you would probably associate the jungle with this game and the character, but also like maybe the desert as well. Okay.
There's a lot of like bongos or conga going on in the drum mix, and I was like, it's definitely some sort of jungle something or other. Mm-hmm. Really cool. I liked especially it pulled back and it got that sort of very melodic piece in the middle.
Right. So
there is a story in this game. It's not just straight up shooting at each other.
This is a very story heavy game.
Okay. Yeah, I got that vibe from that.
On the Nick DeBerry scale.
I mean, I feel like I'm creeping up into the 90s already.
There might be some that
was, I did really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean, my interest in music started like really started way back with like movie soundtracks. And I used to have this little CD player in my bedroom in my parents' house. And I think there was like 3 soundtracks I would listen to all the time. It was Jurassic Park, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Star Wars. And those are the 3 that I would listen. Like my parents were probably sick of hearing like Jack Sparrow's theme song over and over again. But this was very reminiscent of more of a cinematic kind of thing. Whereas the last 2, I was like, yeah, these are nothing wrong with it, but these are very clearly video game tracks.
Right. Got it.
This was much more, it almost, if you told me it was a video game adaptation of a movie, I'd say, yeah, that checks out.
There has been a movie adaptation of this video game. In fact, there you go.
Right. Lay it on me. Number. Shoot. What did I give the last one? 88?
Yes.
I give this one 89.
Creeping up.
I can't go too high, though.
This is from a game series called Uncharted.
I was going to guess that randomly.
Yeah. I think this is specifically the version of it from the 3rd game, but I don't think it varies much from the 4 mainline games. This is Nate's theme. Okay. Nathan Drake is the main character.
I've heard that name before.
This is used pretty much throughout the game, even like the little motifs, like when we were saying when it pulls back, like that is kind of worked into a lot of the other songs on the soundtrack. But this specifically is like you start the game up, main menu, or like rolling the credits, or like the big moment in the game. Usually this is playing.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Nathan Drake is, I'll pull up the gameplay actually, but Nathan Drake is very much, a lot of people compare him to Indiana Jones.
It almost sounded like Indiana Jones.
In what he does, he's a treasure hunter.
Okay.
Going on these crazy adventures. This is a clip from the 3rd game where he's fighting in a plane. We'll fast forward a little bit as it turns into something like this.
Yeah, that is 1,000%. If it wasn't like actual, but again, even though you're not in the army, there's there's military type stuff going on here. Yes. Like this was the vibe I was getting.
Yeah. This game primarily takes place in the desert, but you're spot on. There's a lot of jungle scenes in pretty much every single one of the games. This is Uncharted.
Cool. Very good.
Really cool game. And also, the second game in the series is my favorite video game of all time.
Nice.
Number 4. We're coming up to the halfway point here.
It's exciting.
I think this one will be the one that you are most familiar with.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
No pressure. Oh, is this like Mario?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll let it come back around. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, as somebody who actually really, I mean, obviously I'm familiar with Mario and the IP. And,
of course.
And I've played, I don't even know which games, but I've played them.
Probably this one.
Perhaps. I never really gave like a deep listen to any of the music because it's sort of passively there in the background. And like that one I immediately knew was Mario just by the vibe and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I never really listened to what I was listening to. And like you could pick up, there's an nylon string guitar in there, and I thought it was going to be all like synth leads or things like that. There's very clear, I mean, they're augmented, but it's very clear that there's like actual instrumentation going on in there, which I never would have caught if I wasn't like properly listening to it like this.
A lot of Mario tracks go deep like that. And
yeah.
They're very layered. What, you said that an island guitar?
Nylon string.
Oh, so I thought you said island guitar. I was going to say, well, you're pretty spot on, but nylon guitar. This is from Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
On the Nintendo GameCube. Oh,
there you go.
There you go. I feel like that's probably one that you at least turned on once.
Totally.
It's an island theme for the entire game. Mario's on this place called Delfino Plaza, which is like, this is the music for that hub world where you could jump to a couple different areas on the island. Very much tropical. You could even get Mario wearing like a Hawaiian shirt in that game.
Oh, cool.
You have a jetpack that shoots water, and you could fly around the levels and stuff like that. So
the accordion was cool too.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
So I'll show you gameplay in just a few seconds here, but how are we feeling with, this is Delfino Plaza from Super Mario Sunshine.
So I'm going to give this one a 72. It is not a bad song by any means. I just like the other ones more.
I figured you would. There's one on here that I think you're really going to love. But I'm going to pull up, this is just kind of a general video of people running around Delfino Plaza.
I think I rented this from Blockbuster at one point.
Possibly.
Probably. I definitely never owned it, but it does look very familiar. And yeah. I did have a habit of getting GameCube games from Blockbuster, so that would check out.
Like I said, the water jetpack, a lot of the game is about cleaning up the island from this like inky substance.
I have played this game.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. There's the island itself, or at least some of it. On to number 5. We are officially halfway through this. We have 4 songs down.
Flying.
4 more to go.
All right.
This is a good one.
What?
Crazy.
What a roller coaster of emotions.
Right?
Is there more coming? Do I need to...
It jumps around a little bit. Maybe listen to just a little bit further and you'll hear some different stuff.
Okay.
Coolio.
Man, that was different.
I knew that one was going to take you by surprise, especially with the way it starts.
I think it changed like songs effectively 3 times. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I could not tell you where I think that would take place because I had 3 entirely different things going on in my head.
That is fair. And it's also, I'll give you the explanation of why it sounded so different. This is a newer version of a song that has evolved over time.
Okay.
What you were hearing in the beginning was very much the version from the Super Nintendo back in the day.
Okay.
And then it goes into that whole electric guitar.
Yep.
That is now more like the modern version of the song that was featured in Donkey Kong Bananza.
I would never have guessed that. Was there like a string in between? Was it like Nintendo 64 and then was there like a string orchestration in the middle and then guitar, or am I just totally bad?
Possibly.
Like right in the middle?
We could go back a little bit here.
A little further.
A little further?
Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's these... It goes to like this... Yeah, it totally changes vibe. There's like a string orchestration right in the middle, and I was like, oh, wow, I guess we're going to go like, again, cinematic.
Yeah.
And then the electric guitar jumps in, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Just rocking.
That's very cool, because it wasn't a seamless transition by design, but it works. It's amazing that you get from sort of that 8-bit kind of thing to full-on electric guitars very easily.
Yeah. And it's very interesting because this is the theme. The song is called Gangplank, Galleon.
Okay.
I don't know if you got any piratey feels from the beginning there.
Yes. So my guess to you was going to be one of 2 things. It was either somewhere that was like industrious, like I was thinking like factory, or because there's a lot of moving but very rhythmic things going on.
Oh, nice.
But
I like that.
With, you throw the accordion in and you kind of assume, piratey is a pretty safe assumption generally.
Right.
I wasn't going to guess pirates, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's not fully pirates, but so it's called Gangplank Galleon. It's kind of the theme of the big boss of Donkey Kong, which I don't know if you know who that is. That is King K. Rool, if you've seen him. He's actually right here. This guy.
Well, yes, I have.
Yes. You gifted me a D&D mini that looks like him.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, this is like his boss theme, kind of. This plays in every game. In one of the games, he's like a pirate, and his guys are like all pirates, but not every game. It also jumps around. There's a part in this song that works in... It's technically a separate song from Donkey Kong Country 2 from the Super Nintendo. It works in some motifs there. But this is like... I wanted to play this because this is a buildup of many years. This is the beginning of Donkey Kong Country, and then it kind of transforms into this new thing. For a while, King K. Rool was absent from the Donkey Kong franchise after like the N64 game. He wasn't really seen. So the reason it kind of starts with that Super Nintendo mode, like feeling in the beginning, and then jumps into the rock is Bananza, which is on the Switch 2, dropped last year, was his return to the series.
Oh, cool.
So like you see him, and it's like the OG theme, but then it rips into a new version of the theme, and it's like he's back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the Nick DeBerry scale, how many points are you giving this?
I'm gonna give this one a 65 on the Nick DeBerry scale. And this was definitely his favorite game.
Favorite game, but there's my favorite song is yet to come.
Okay. So I haven't totally screwed this up yet.
No.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, it's just, again, it was a little jarring for sure, not in a bad way. It makes sense thematically why it would be this way. Whatever the Uncharted one was still my favorite. That was really good.
I'll show you kind of what it looks like in the newest Donkey Kong game. So
I would never have guessed that was a Donkey Kong game.
This is the boss fight with him. This is like the end of the game. This is the thing that you were searching for, and then he's here as well, about to like grab it. So you do fight him. His big signature move is that you always fight him first, and for some reason it feels easy. You beat him. Mm-hmm. Credits roll. So you fight him.
The game credits roll?
The game credits roll.
Really?
But everything is kind of twisted in his way. Like you'll see what I mean. Like we'll jump to
Okay.
So
I could see it already. Yeah.
So it's not always this obvious. It actually caught me off guard the first time I played Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo. But it's always like, oh, you beat him, credits roll. And then when the names start coming up, you notice everything is like spelled with a K, King K. Rool. Everything is spelled with a K. Credits, and like look direction, like concept art, and like these are all the enemies in the game actually. Cool. So like it'll be like concept art with a K, and it says the end, and then this is how it always goes with King K. Rool. So this music kicks in right here, where you see him still lying there, and it's like the end ? His eyes pop back open, and goes right back into a crazy boss fight. This is when the music is like ripping on the electric guitar, and this even goes on for a while. You end up like, even 20 minutes later, you're fighting him in this giant wrestling ring in the middle of a city. Like, it's nuts.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Bananas, one could say.
And with that, let's go to number 6. Yes, 6.
All right. So it gave a lot of Mission Impossible vibes. Like halfway through that. I mean, even the progression of the notes was very similar to, I'm not going to sing it into here, but like in the middle, you could almost hear elements of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite place where I think it would, because at first I thought, is it a chase scene? Is it, which I'm guessing no by that reaction?
It's not, I mean, it's hard to say because this song is used across many games, but this specific version is not a chase scene.
Okay. Is it a combat oriented?
Yes, it is. It is.
Definitely figured it was something like that. I don't think it's a boss fight. I totally think it's a boss fight.
It is a boss fight.
Tell me more.
This is the song is called "Roar of Dedede." And if you're familiar,
King Dedede.
Yes,
Kirby.
King Dedede. This is Kirby. This is from Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, which is the Nintendo Switch game for Kirby. One of them, the most popular one. And this is the fight with Dedede. This song has been used in many iterations for many different things. Even when you're not fighting Dedede, sometimes this song, or at least motifs from it, will kick in. And like this is kind of like the signal of like the Kirby boss fight. Like this is it.
Cool.
I'll show you the boss fight in a second. But it seemed like you enjoyed that one quite a bit.
I did. That was cool.
It feels very like monumental, as like the build up.
Yes.
Like it feels. I mean, feels like a king almost announcing himself in some ways. I feel like.
Yeah, like consequential is like the word that comes to mind, because again, even if you were to take that Mission Impossible, that
yeah,
I mean, in those movies, he's likely trying to get away from something, or
That's right.
there's, which is why I think my brain associated it with a chase scene or jumping out of a plane or something crazy like that. But I could totally understand why this is it gives a very consequential sort of vibe. Yeah,
and it's crazy because like Nintendo games have progressively gotten more like orchestral with their music. Like it's not just simply like you were saying, like Mario synthy and like kind of just in the background. Now it's very much like the music is a huge part of these experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I've been surprised. I mean, I know their video game arrangement and soundtracks are great, but I would never have thought something like this would come out of a Kirby game.
Yeah.
I would never think a Kirby game would look like this, actually.
It's pretty wild.
Mind you, the extent of my experience with Kirby is Kirby Air Ride. So that's
that's my
very
favorite
different.
That's great. Yeah, this is you're coming up on Dedede. Sometimes this song is in soundtracks called Mount Dedede.
Okay.
But it's the same song. It just kind of switches depending on which game you're in. But yeah, this is, climbing a big mountain, going to fight Dedede. It's for the most part Kirby's main bad guy, and here he is.
Cool.
Not as loud as the Donkey Kong boss fight, but still.
It feels there's a scale to it though, and I think just because of where it's set.
Yeah,
I love the setting. That's really cool.
Yeah. All right, so on the Nick DeBerry scale, what do you rank Roar of Dedede?
I'm gonna give that a 71. I liked it. I have a weird love-hate relationship with the electric guitar motifs and things, because I think when done well, and not to say this wasn't done well, this is obviously a great piece of music, but I tend to find in certain contexts that I almost get they're a little played out. This is towing that line for me, but it's still objectively a very good piece of music, so I'm going to give it a 71.
Awesome. All right. Heading into the last two songs, I think this one that I'm about to play, I think you're going to like a lot. I don't know if you've ever heard it before, but I think you're really going to jive with the vibe of it.
Let's do it.
You know it?
No, but... It sounds really familiar, though.
You might know it.
It's very Lord of the Rings. It's very Howard Shore. Yeah. That sustained string throughout's really cool. Is there more comment, or
it kind of stays the same?
It stays the same.
Yeah,
okay.
it kind of remains the same and loops back around for the most part.
Yeah, that was very Lord of the Rings.
You're pretty spot on with that. Yeah. It's not Lord of the Rings, but
no, I figured not. Because that was also one of the soundtracks that I would listen to all the time.
Good choice.
Yeah, it's very like Howard Shore, Lord of the Rings. I don't know where it's from, but
if you were to guess, a big
for sure fantasy, some sort of like. Again, like I'm picturing that as whatever the scene is when they go to Rivendell and they see. That was like there's very clear inspiration. In there.
This is from World of Warcraft.
Okay, cool. I wasn't so far off.
Elwynn Forest, which is when you pick a human, this is your level 1 area that you're jumping into. You're going into the forest to fight wolves, to fight gnolls. This is like everybody's first steps into the game usually. A song that has been in the game since the game came out in I think 2004, and still there to this day. The area is still unchanged. It's like almost. This music helps like preserve what WoW is.
Very cool. Yeah, that was very cool, and I think it captured that sense of home in a foreign, very foreign world and place. Very cool.
On the Nick DeBerry scale,
that's gotta be the biggest one. That's gotta be I'm gonna give that a 91. I really like that. Oh, it's like the Shire.
Very much so. Like I was gonna say, like if they could call this the Shire, they probably would have.
Yeah.
Elwynn Forest. In fact, there's a little town. This is right outside like the major city of the humans, but there's a little town called Goldshire.
Ah, cool.
Which I don't know if that's actually inspired by Lord of the Rings at all, but I imagine it is to some degree.
Very cool.
You could see the textures are not updated really.
That's cool. I like it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's preserving what the game is.
There's something to be said about those sort of older textures where like if I'm picturing like playing a video game that's got like a cozy vibe, it's not with these highly textured renderings.
Right.
I'd probably end up, again, for the once every probably 2 to 3 weeks I play video games, I'd probably be drawn more to something like that.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I've had this conversation with a few people, but like those textures, I think the reason why it invokes like so much emotion when seeing them is that it leaves the imagination room to work. Yeah. When you see textures like that and it's like a distant forest, you're like, oh man, I wonder what's in there. Like it's not giving you all the information with your eyes. Your mind has to work to make it happen. With realistic graphics, you could walk up and you'd be like, holy crap, I could see every leaf in this forest. Right. I know exactly where it is, what's going on in here. Yeah. It's a cool like effect. Yeah. Okay. The very last song here, which I consider to be my favorite video game song of all time. Okay. I think it just hits the feels. I think you're going to be surprised by it. I want you to listen to a good portion of it because it does add, it adds throughout its entire runtime. And I think after this video, I would love to show you there's the composer talking about how it was made. There's this composer does a lot of weird tricks with things, stuff with vocal, like editing vocal tracks and stuff to sound like
you've told me about this guy before. Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal which game it is until you listen to it.
You give me the signal when I'm roughly good.
Yeah.
Very Stranger Things. Yeah. I love that synth line. That's very cool. Yeah. I've heard this before, for sure, somewhere.
You absolutely have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably take off.
Yeah.
This song is definitely used in probably videos on the internet all the time.
Yeah, I think it was a twisted saxophone bit at the end. Yeah. Was definitely, it's used in memes and stuff for sure.
Absolutely.
That one was really different in that one felt more like a landscape than a song.
I like that.
It felt more like, I felt like I was, this can sound really corny, but like, I felt like I was in it, where I wasn't really, it was an environment. I was in, and the other thing they did that the other songs didn't do so forthrightly was they took a lot of advantage of the stereo of it. So like, there was things that would bounce back and forth between the left and the right can on the headset, which helps the immersion. Because again, it almost didn't feel like there was no, if I were to tell you a song has a narrative, even an orchestral piece, right? Like you can kind of, it's telling a story. You can, it's building up, it's coming down, there's dynamics, right? This didn't really have dynamics in the traditional sense. It was more like a sound landscape, as I've heard it referred to. And this was like sort of the standout different one of everything you've showed me so far.
It definitely is. Amongst these songs, it's the most different. It does things the other songs here don't. Yeah. I don't know if you can guess what game it's from. Can you guess what kind of era it's from? Like what?
Well, it's very dreamy, sort of like eras and like era of time.
Yeah, like console wise or like.
I mean, it feels like something out of like the 80s,
90s.
Okay.
I do like you saying dreamy. It's very much paired with a specific atmosphere.
Atmospheric would have been another word I would have probably used.
If you could think of a natural atmosphere that is dreamy. Floaty, maybe.
Well, I was clouds, space.
Opposite.
Ocean.
There you go.
Okay.
This is a song. Yeah. It is called Aquatic Ambience.
Okay.
Literally, the Aquatic Ambience from one of my favorite games of all time, Donkey Kong Country.
That was a very much more interesting piece of music than I would have expected. Out of a video, I could see that out of a video game, but not out of. I wouldn't have expected something that nuanced out of. Frank, no offense, out of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong Country games, specifically the Super Nintendo trilogy, and more specifically the first and second game, which are composed by the same guy. David Wise is the guy who's behind those soundtracks. There's a lot of other songs in there that I'll show you maybe at a later date that have that same feeling, and some that divert from that feeling but also keep the same I don't know, like the same inner workings of that song. Like he uses the same technique but in different ways.
So like, do you remember when we were working on the intro for the ButtonPress podcast and I asked you what color the song was, what color is this supposed to be? And I think you came up with yellow. This song to me was blue with streaks of purple. Like,
I'll pull up the gameplay while we're talking here. When this song hit, when I first played through this game, I stopped. Like I held the controller and I was like, this is obviously I wasn't born when this game came out, 1995, I believe. Okay. It brought me back to a time that I wasn't there for but felt for.
I think this song might be in some of those like nostalgia videos.
Definitely.
On TikTok and stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. Funny enough, there is also another song that is called Aquatic Ambience that they use for those types of videos. Huh. But they do use this one as well.
Interesting.
But this is the level. It's an underwater level. Honestly, the gameplay of it can be a little bit stressful, which is has some friction with the music. But for the most part, you're exploring underwater mazes and just swimming around, trying to find your way through the level.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know why it became one of my favorites.
It's an interesting piece of music, and that's the word "interesting" just keeps coming to mind because it's so. The point is not to get you to point A to point B. The point is for you to, at least as far as the song feels like it's concerned, that you're in this ambiance.
Yeah. And I think once you discover like the inner workings of the song behind it, there's some interviews with David Wise about how he made things. It gets even more interesting. Like the sounds that you're hearing might not actually be the instruments that you think they are, and stuff like that. Like I said, he's talked about editing vocal tracks to sound like instrumentals. I think in this track specifically, he uses the harp a little bit. I don't know if that was heard.
I have to listen to the mix again. Yeah.
But just a crazy track. I don't know. It just has stuck with me for all of my gaming life, and now it's just my favorite.
Yeah, I can see why. Like the next question is going to be, where do I rank it? And it almost feels like it's in a league of its own, in that it's very different from the other pieces, where there was orchestral pieces and there was very cinematic pieces and there was very like stereotypical video game pieces. This truly felt like it was like, the pictures online of people sitting there with their headphones on just going,
exactly.
That's the sort of vibe that I got from this one. I'm gonna give it a 95. This was a damn good piece of music that leaves me wanting to keep talking about it.
I'm sure we will once the camera cuts. So I'm sure we're going to be talking about music for a while. But that is all 8 songs that I had for you today. Obviously from a couple different games. There's some still in my pocket that I would love to show you someday, hopefully on a future episode of Bonus Level. But I want to say thank you for hopping in, taking your time to do this with me. Also taking your time to help make the ButtonPress podcast intro music. Like, come on, guys, round of applause for Nick here.
That was such a fun project, and something, it's so different than what I typically do. And it gave me an opportunity to sort of stretch what I'm doing and do something different. And it was a cool, I think, just project to work on. So I'm grateful to have been part of it. And also, real quick, just to see how far you've come and how this ButtonPress journey has come along. It's really cool for me to see, and also amazing to have been even a small part of it.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks, dude. I just remembered, actually, while we were working on the music, you hit that beginning drone
with the slide, yeah.
And the first thing I said, I was like, whoa, that was so Donkey Kong Country.
I can hear it now.
That's the song I was thinking of.
I can hear it now.
Yeah. Also, guys, outside of doing the ButtonPress podcast theme song, Nick does a lot of music stuff, a lot of country music stuff. He has a single that he just dropped fairly recently on Spotify and other platforms.
Yeah, anywhere you can stream music, it is available. It's called Bobby, like the name, Bobby. It
will be linked down below this video.
Definitely give it a listen. Let Mark know what you think. But yeah, this has been a blast, man.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do with all of your music stuff, and hopefully you and I can hop back in the studio and make some more stuff together. Not that I was playing any instruments, but it was a co-op journey.
It was a lot of fun. That was a cool couple. And it didn't even take that long. That was a cool, like 2 hours or so, maybe?
Yeah, probably around there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, I hope you are enjoying this new series, Bonus Level. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things on this new series. A lot of fun challenges, crazy stuff. I don't even know. It's going to go to some wild places. I'm excited for it. And if you want to continue the conversation with us about video games and any other nerdy things, you can join the official ButtonPress Discord, which will be linked down below as well. We talk about music, movies, games, and real life stuff pretty much every single day. There's a lot of cool people there. I think we have 150 people in there now, which is fun. Anyway, Nick, thanks for joining. I hope to have you on very, very soon.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This has been a blast.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.